Hey, I just wanted to update with a new video displaying some of the latest Funko Pops I've been able to get signed but haven't done videos for. And I want to start off first with some of the Marvel Pops that I've gotten signed recently. Um, I'd like to one day get all the Marvel Endgame characters to sign. I'm on my way there, so I already got Chris Evans, and I got a few other ones that still need to be returned from signings that have happened and some that have not happened yet. But this first one is a Nebula Pop signed by Karen Gillan, who did a signing through Zobi Productions, and it has a JSA Witness. And I think they offered even character names for like an additional 25 bucks. I didn't go with that option. I was just happy with the signature on this one. And I went with white just because I think it's a good contrast. It's a safe color to always go with when you get something signed. So I went with the white signature, and I was happy to be able to get another Avenger into the collection. And then next is Thanos himself, Josh Brolin. He was able to sign this. This was orchestrated through Ace Comic-Con, who partnered up with a couple different places. I went through Twin Cities Comics, and I chose this pink paint pen on this version of Thanos, which is the retired Thanos, the one with the severed hand. This Thanos succeeded in what he did. Very cocky about it. I am inevitable. He didn't care that they chopped his arm off. He was happy, you know, the work will always be done, whatever. Retirement Thanos. And then I happened to get a con sticker when I ordered this pop. Back when Emerald Comic Con pops went on sale through the Funko website. So I set this one in versus the other Thanos that's in armor, and he's the younger Thanos, but he's the Thanos that got defeated. The next one, which I got, this one probably one of the most recently signed ones, is Benedict Wong signing this Wong Funko Pop. And he was at LA Comic Con early December, and GalaxyCon offered a send-in service to get this signed. And I didn't even ask for a character name, and he was able to put one on there, so that was, you know, pleasant surprise. And I went with yellow, which I think complements the little portal look and the whole effect. I think that does a very good job on that. So that just wraps up like the Marvel pops I've been able to add to the collection that I haven't done videos for. Now we'll segue over to the Star Wars side of things, and I'll start off with Adam Driver, who signed this Ben Solo Funko Pop, and I got this through the Zobi store. They had Kylo Ren and Ben Solo signed pops, and I was able to use my supporter discount to get this reduced a little bit. And I'm a big fan of his work so far. Like, I saw The Last Duel this year, which I think was heavily slept on. It's a great Ridley Scott movie. Good acting in there, and Adam Driver just makes you hate his guts, which is a good actor. And he also did a good job in House of Gucci this year, and he held it through that Star Wars trilogy. His character was one of the, I would say, more unique things in that trilogy. And next we'll go to the second Darth Maul I have in my collection, and this one is signed by Sam Witwer, who did the voice of Darth Maul in the Clone Wars and then also Rebels. He was able to give, I think, Darth Maul more life, obviously, because we thought he was dead in Phantom Menace. But he's been one of my favorite, like, Star Wars characters, and they just made him more complex, gave him more backstory. You kind of sympathize more with what he was going on, how he was used, and how, you know, sometimes there isn't, you know, necessarily straight up good and evil. There's that gray area in between. So I was able to meet Sam Witwer here at an event here, was it late November? Yeah. where he did his signing, and he was super cool. He took his time talking to every fan, taking pictures, and he even did the inscription here that says, "He is the key to everything," which is in reference to Anakin and his role in this whole thing with Palpatine's plan, and how the Jedi are just so clueless to it. And another Star Wars pop I was able to get signed is Boba Fett, and this is from the young Boba Fett, Baby Fett, from episode 2, Attack of the Clones, with him and his father, Jango Fett. But this is, the youngest version of Boba Fett, and he also reprised that role, and I think in Clone Wars. But he never got to play that as an older Boba Fett, and Funko never came out with a Baby Fett Funko Pop, so this is what I was able to get signed, and I got to meet him here at a comic book shop. Super nice guy, and he was happy to sign this. And now we'll go to a Disney pop, and this is Coach Bombay from $7 a pop. And I've seen a lot of Emilio Estevez signed items, and been waiting to pull the trigger, and then $7 a pop happened to have a really good price on it shipped, and I finally just said, okay, I'm buying it. I love Mighty Ducks. This is a must have. I just had to find the right price and the right time where I'm like, okay, I can buy this. Like there's not a bunch of other signings going on that would make those more priority. And I think, judging by the witness certificate, this was done back in July, so $7 a pop was also waiting to put this out and pull the trigger on it. And next up, I just want to quickly mention this Yellow Ranger pop. I was able to add another Power Ranger to the collection. This is Karen Ashley. I also got to meet her at a comic book shop here recently, and she's kind of an OG Power Ranger, not the original Yellow Ranger, but she was in the original first Power Rangers movie, and she took over the duties after the contract issues, I think, with the original Power Rangers, and then original one, passed away, so this is as close to an OG Power Ranger, Yellow Ranger, that I'll be able to get signed. Moving on to a sports pop. This is boxing. This is Mike Tyson pop, signed by Mike Tyson. To me, legend, greatest heavyweight of my generation. Like, I know we can say other guys are great boxers, but in my generation, guy that was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, this guy was like dominant. Not only dominant, but then, and along with memories, from pay-per-views and watching him knock people out, there was also like the video game. So if you're a person who grew up on the NES, you remember Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and classic memories of just getting our butts kicked by Mike Tyson and not being able to beat him, and last in a couple seconds, and it was just kind of like you got to get the real deal experience without actually physically getting knocked out, but he knocked you out emotionally playing that game. So it was cool to get this signed. This Funko Pop just came out this year, and there were delays in this pop getting shipped out, and that's why the signing kind of got delayed from October to December, but it finally got done. Shout out to Dark Parlor Originals, who partnered up with Fitterman Sports to get this done. And then the next sports-related pop, wrestling pop, this is from Bray Wyatt. It was released from the WWE, but he signed this Fiend Funko Pop, and this was through High Spots, who specialize in a lot of like wrestlers and wrestling stuff. That's like their specialty. They don't really venture out of that with entertainers or musicians or actors or nothing like that. They're just straight up wrestling. And they were the first to really land a signing with Bray Wyatt since he was released from the WWE. And they offered a really good price for him. Like, I was surprised how affordable it was. And they threw like 2 inscriptions, I think, just along with the signature. and I went with Yowie Wowie and Let Me In. A lot of other people went with The Fiend instead of Yowie Wowie, but I wanted to keep like 2 quotes if I was able to get them. I got those two. Because I mean, on the box it already says The Fiend, and if he signs his name Bray Wyatt, I'm happy with that. But having him put like 2 additional quotes on there was awesome. Like, really fan of Yowie Wowie and Let Me In. And this is JSA Witnessed, and signing a bright red paint pen. So, and I saw people got the Christmas version 1 signed, action figure signed. I think a lot of us were happy with the way these came out because it wasn't just BW. He really gave us a full Bray Wyatt signature. So, really interested to see where he lands next in his career. He's a really creative individual, and I think they kind of dropped the ball with the Fiend at the WWE. Like, they could have had a Undertaker slash Mankind type character, and they just didn't book him well. So, but he had so much potential. And that wraps up this latest video with all these signatures. Quick glance at some of the pops in my collection. I'm gonna have to eventually get another shelf just because things are just overflowing already, and I don't know where to put anything, and I'm trying to group things into sections, and it's becoming a struggle, but a good struggle, a good problem. I just gotta maybe be more selective, but I mean, I buy into actors, athletes, and things that I like and enjoy and bring good memories. And so I'll leave you with that. Just, sometimes it's having to be selective about stuff because it is not a cheap hobby to collect signatures, and sometimes you have to debate who can you catch at a con later, most likely based on age and availability, and who rarely signs. And sometimes those who rarely sign are the ones you have to kind of jump at the opportunity. Uh, and that's all I can kind of say. It's, you're gonna miss a lot of signings, but you got to think hopefully they'll come back around in the future if it's meant to be.